Hello, Mary, meet everybody. It's MicheleMarieDalene. You can see it streams from top. The animal's full of cat hair. Plus, of course, I wore the sea blacktop every day. So, for a while. So, I wanted to talk about something today. Something that Ruben whatever brought up, which is not the first time someone said this. He said, you autistic spectrum people seem to live in your own little world. And I said to myself, gee, you know what? It's true, we do. Now, I got a piece of lyrics here from the Beatles. And I can bet almost every autistic spectrum person can relate to these lyrics. It's called The Fool on the Hill. I'm just going to read them. I did check the copyright to see if I could play the music on here without getting copyright strikes. I can't. But I'm not going to play music right now. Maybe I'll do a cover later, but for right now, let's read the lyrics. Day after day, alone on a hill, the man with the foolish grin is perfectly keeping still. But nobody wants to know him. They can see he's just a fool. And he never gives an answer. Then the chorus. But the fool on the hill sees the sun going down, and the eyes in his head see the world spinning round. Well on the way, head in a cloud, the man of 1,000 voices, talking perfectly loud, but nobody ever hears him, or the sound he appears to make, and he never seems to notice. But the fool on the hill sees the sun going down, and the eyes in his head see the world spinning round. And no one seems to like him. They can tell what he wants to do, and he never shows his feelings. But the fool on the hill sees the sun going down, and the eyes in his head see the world spinning round. And then we get into the heavy chorus, which goes, oh, 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 oh. I'll leave that part out because it's too long. Round and round and round and round. He never listens to them. He knows that they're the fool. They don't like him, the fool on the hill. Sees the sun going down, and the eyes in his head see the world spinning around. Sounds like autistic spectrum to me. How many times have we been told to shut up? How many times have we been told our opinions don't matter? How many times have they thought that we were like Mr. Spock, stoic, because we don't always seem to express emotions? Or we don't understand the meaning of sarcasm? Or we misinterpret the signals? Yes, we've been through this, haven't we? We know what's going on. We study our lives. It's our passion. We love knowledge. We all have knowledge in unique things. One gentleman loves to study elevators. Another one studies light bulbs. Another one studies other things. I mean, electronics and radio repair. And what the important thing is that we are part of this great system. Sure, we are in the 5 percentile. We're not exactly your typical neurotypical people. And we're never going to be neurologically typical, no matter what we do. We're just us. We're just who we are. It's not going to change us. But the most important things, just like the song lyrics say, is they don't like us, the fools on the hill. Why don't they like us? Because we know more of what's going on, because we see it every day. Because of our interests, they may be varied, but when it comes to what we know, we study with a passion, we learn with a passion. It is our driving force. That's why it's called a passion, right? Maybe you study doorknobs, light bulbs, elevators, or types of turntable cartridges. or your favorite kind of turntable versus other brands of turntable. It doesn't matter. It's what we do. And we love our passions. And one of the things I kept mentioning over and over again about YouTube, I'm going to say this again because this is very important. This is one of the ways that us people with Asperger's and autistic spectrum are able to get out and talk to others with like-minded people and the neurotypicals. We know not everybody's going to be interested in our content. We know that. It's just the fact is that one of the biggest problems is just like, oh, the lonely people, where do they come from? That's another song by the Beatles, right? Oh, the lonely people, where do they come from? They're all around you. They're us. We're not trying to be pains. We're the quiet ones. We're the quiet, observant ones that study everything. It drives us absolutely apeshit that we can't share our feelings. And sometimes after you've digested so much information, you just want to share what you study. And that's what the live streams are doing. That's what we're trying to do in the live streams. The equivalent of speaking out. Last night, I had an interesting conversation with People of Peace. It ran a lot longer than I wanted to. Part of me wanted to tell him that I just wanted to go. Because I had a biological need to go to the bathroom, and I just didn't want to be rude and cut him off. And then I remembered earlier that day, I had a conversation with my landlord where I accused him of doing the same thing. Telling me to shut up. And I got upset with my landlord, and I said to him, Jimmy, that's all I ever hear on my YouTube channel is, shut the frell up. I'm tired of being told to shut the frell up. For once in my life, I just want a few minutes to complete my thought. I'm tired of being told to shut the frell up. That's what I felt. That's what I feel. That's why the live streams are important, is because it gives me a chance to speak. But it also gives you a chance to speak too. The bcasts are great too because they give me a chance to speak, but you have to listen. It's not something that the neurologically typical people want to. Because it makes them feel discommoded. Because they realize that what I'm saying is really what's going on in their heart. They want us to shut up. Take our, whatever they think will help us become normal. It's not going to happen, guys. This is our normal. This is what we do. We're not going to change. There's no magic pill to turn a person on autistic spectrum into a normal, everyday, 95 percentile human being. There's no such magic pill. Wow. That's scary. But it's true. Us out here in the fringes, I want to talk to you because we want to share our viewpoints. That's another reason why I created this channel. Is to share thoughts and ideas. So Ruben, whatever, to answer your question is yes, unfortunately we do have a life of our own, and it's a very, unfortunately, very isolated life. We want to talk. We're the fools on the hill. We see the sun going around. We see the world spinning around too. Just like it says here. Day after day, alone on a hill, the man with the foolish grin is keeping perfectly still. But nobody wants to know him. They can see he's just a fool. And he never gives an answer. But the fool on the hill sees the sun going down, and the eyes in his head see the world spinning round. Yes. How apt, how true. It's sad. One of the most important things that YouTube has given all of us, autistic spectrum disorder, Asperger's, which is part of it, is an outlet to speak our mind. And one of the nice things about YouTube is, of course, the neurotypical people can just change the damn channel. They don't have to listen. It's just like it says in the song. Let's see. Well, on his way, head in the cloud, the man of 1,000 voices talking perfectly loud, but nobody ever hears him or the sound he appears to make, and he never seems to notice. Well, yes, we do. We notice. We see it in our viewership. One of the things about YouTube is that there's a couple groups on YouTube of various types. You got the narcissists, the ones that think that they're number one and that their shit don't stink and that their whole life is perfect and that they want to dictate their ways of thinking to you and they want you to become like them. Or you got the people like me who just want to be able to share information. Sure, monetization is nice, but that's not what this channel is created for. But I still love sharing my information with you. So, as I said, I listened to People of Peace because I heard what he had to say. He was a young man, apparently been told to shut up just so much that I didn't think anyone would care. I cared. Because I was like him when I was a child. Shut up, Michelle! No one wants to hear about that. You're boring me to death! You repeated the same time 4,000 times last week! And then when I asked them, did you actually listen to what they had to say? Enough to count them? No, and I don't personally care! Well, okay. If you don't care, then how am I supposed to find someone to share my thoughts with? Sad. True. So, yes, we're having a live stream tonight. But I really would like to have more people come. I realize that actually coming when I had a main topic on my channel is on live stream is like asking for a train wreck. It just ain't gonna happen. There's so much going on out there that nobody can cover it all. And as I said, People of Peace really just needed to speak. And that happens. You see, guys, when a like-minded person with autism spectrum sees another person with autistic spectrum that they feel confident in, they're going to give you an earful. They're going to talk to you. But they don't realize, because of the social cues, they may miss them. And they think, and then neurotypical people think, they're just being rude. No, we're not. Sometimes it's just like when you have to go to the bathroom, right? And you have your stomach's acting queasy and you just gotta go. You know, it doesn't matter. You can't politely say, excuse me, each time you drop a load. It's not gonna happen that way. It's like the runs. You're going to sit down and all of a sudden it's going to come out in a torrent. And then, of course, the neurologically typical person goes, whoa, phew, that stinks. Wow, why did you have to tell me all that one time? I can't handle all that. It's too much to digest. Yes, it is, unfortunately. And that's the reason why so many times when people with autistic spectrum get together, we can talk like that. We understand each other. That's just the way we are. It doesn't mean we're bad people. It just means that we think differently than neurologically typical people. That's not wrong. That's the guy from Injured Minds. He thinks like me. He thinks like People of Peace. We think similar. We all have our own interests. But if you get a lot of smart people that are like that, it's okay. YouTube is provided a way for us to at least speak out. Incidentally, in the UK, they created an industry called position called the Minister of Loneliness. I wonder what the Beatles would have thought about that one. All those lonely people, where do they all come from? So what is the Minister of Loneliness going to do? His job is to try to advocate for the people whose lives are wrapped up on social media. One of the things that people with autistic spectrum want is a hug, a handhold. Some of us, unfortunately, are like Mr. Spock. We don't really know if we're ready for that, because to touch us is to send a flood of feelings through our nervous system that just basically overwhelms us to the point where we're not sure what to do. But we still do want to be at least able to have a conversation. It's ironic, isn't it? Your neurological typical people didn't almost crave it. They just want to be hugged and coddled and feel good and hear another voice. Whereas most people with autistic spectrum disorder are kind of a little distant. We're the fools on the hill. But sometimes we like to come down from the hill too. Even if it makes us scared and nervous. Again, that's another problem with the autistic spectrum, is we don't always do well to mingle with neurologically typical people. But we want that. Deep down in our heart, we want to fit in. But because of our condition, our ways, we will always stand out. Just like my hair color stands out in a room with people with brown hair. Okay? It stands out. People know. Oh, look for the one that has the platinum blonde with brown going out. That's Michelle. Put me in a room with many people in the world who have salt and pepper hair. You probably wouldn't know or see me as well. Until you realize I'm the one that shuffles along. It doesn't seem to know where they're going. Sadly enough, that's another symptom of Asperger's. And also, of course, my legal blindness doesn't help either. So, this video, I hope that those who are the neurologically typical persons can understand that yes, we are the fools on the hill. The upper 5 percentile of the neurological chart. We're not stupid. Some of us are very, very, very smart. We're thinkers. We're creators. Sometimes, unfortunately, just like Father McKenzie writing a speech or sermon that no one will hear. If it wasn't for YouTube, we wouldn't have been able to speak out at all. To be honest, that's sad. That really is sad. But you know what? We got this opportunity. Let's use it. Let's use this opportunity for its best purposes. Not to eat Tide Pods, not to do the cinnamon challenge, not to shove our head in the microwave and then put concrete around it. No. Let's use this as ways to inform, to inspire, to educate. As I said, I am of the older generation. I'm 49 years old. People of Peace is 17. It's ironic that in his generation, the most cool position for a job is to be a YouTube creator. In the 1980s, the cool position was to become an MTV video producer or MTV video content. Different medium? Not really. It's still basically you want your fame and fortune, your money for nothing, and your chicks for free. Just like Dire Straits sings. Well, unfortunately, in both cases, more than 90% of YouTube content is never going to be that well known. There's too many channels. There's just too much. How just has not at all too many bands got on MTV in the 80s. A few did, but most small local bands never had a chance to get on YouTube. But that's okay, because we know that just as YouTube now is trying to make big deals at headliners and big contracts with big YouTube creators, there's always going to be a need for people, the average everyday person, to speak up. And that is where social media, maybe YouTube, Twitch, or some other source, whatever, is going to be the key for us. Yes, I'm sure even the fool on the hill has a telephone. And yes, I bet the fool on the hill is on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and Reddit today. Let's give that some thought. You might be surprised what you find out. Watch my content. Really watch it. Don't just flip through the channel. Go through and watch the content. Thank you for listening. I'll see you tonight. Bye-bye.